Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco 3. Hope you're all doing well today and looking forward to today's big one. We've got Elche and Barcelona B, two of our biggest rivals this season for not just the title, I suppose, but also those automatic promotion places. It's going to be really, really difficult. Win them both and we set ourselves up nicely for the end of the season. Lose them both and we might have to just kiss goodbye to any hope of automatic promotion. Since you guys were last here, it's been really good, but we have dropped down the table even though we have been playing really well, which is quite frustrating. You were last here obviously for that sort of mini transfery bit towards the end of last season. We played Badajoz and we were going to play Cadiz until the game bugged out. I have fixed the issue with JD Meakin, although at the expense of another player. I'll talk more about that in a moment's time. You were last here though, obviously for those two games. Since then, actually, we haven't quite been as good as I thought we were. We've lost 2 games. I didn't think we'd lost 2 games. We have lost 2 games. Clearly, I can't remember what I've done when I've been playing offline. We started off, though, with a 2-1 win over Real Zaragoza. JD Meakin with both of those, and had another 2-1 victory just after that against Villarreal B. Timo Wolff and Ethan Brito on the score sheet. We then lost to Deportivo La Coruña 2-0, and actually, the slump kind of continued with a 0-0 draw with Córdoba and Robert Tapu's 1 goal there in a 1-1 draw with Rayo Vallecano. We then beat Racing Santander with Timo Wolff and JD Meakin on the score sheet. However, a JD Meakin brace wasn't good enough to beat Real Valladolid. So, because of that, we have dropped down the table, as you can see. Rayo Valladolid go top of the table, so they are going to be champions as it stands right now. Barcelona B and their 100 goals slip down to second. Elche jumpers into third, and we have dropped down into fourth with Real Oviedo right on our tails as well. We're pretty much guaranteed playoffs at this stage because we are 20 points clear of Castellon and Lugo, so playoffs, we're going to get those. It might just not be automatic promotion unless we can beat Barcelona B and Elche today. As you can see, Barcelona B not in the best of form, so hopefully we can capitalise on that. So before we go any further in today's episode, we need to say hello to 2 new Patreon players from the previous youth intake. Dan Ridgewell is a centre-back. He's got 1.5 stars of current ability and 5 stars of potential. Now he is going to be known as Loco. So welcome Loco, hope you're going to do great and we'll hopefully see you in the first team very soon. And Cameron Davis, a young striker, he is now going to be known as Yohamid Keita. So welcome Yohamid, hopefully we'll see you in the first team as well soon. Of course, if you want a Patreon player of your own, the latest youth intake has just come through. I'll post this up very shortly on the Patreon for anyone who wants to claim it. Of course, get yourselves down into the link in the description to find the Patreon. That doesn't quite make sense. There's a link down in the description to take you to the Patreon if you want to get involved in that and have players named after you in the future. Unfortunately, this year's youth intake, maybe not the greatest coming through. 2 4-star players there. A right winger in Jamie, who looks relatively decent across the board, actually. Nothing standout, but does look pretty like a solid base there, I must say. So if we can get him trained up to be more of a winger, that would be quite good. And then in goal, Dale Walker looks pretty decent too. English as opposed to Gibraltarian, which is quite interesting. So that might pose a few issues down the line, potentially. We also need to talk about contracts. The first contract is one of our Patreon players, not Robbo, Josho. If I can spell his name right, Josho. He was one of our, big players, has played a fair few games this season, was looking pretty good. We offered him a new deal because his contract was running out at the end of this season. And, we agreed the new deal. And then he's rejected that new deal because he thinks that going to Europa FC is a better option for him. So I'm rather upset by that. Josho, I feel very betrayed by you. And you've turned us down to go to Europa. See you later. The other contract news is Robert Tapu. We signed him for £150,000 in summer. He has been probably player of the season this year with a 7.28 average rating. His 11 goals, 9 assists. He's been phenomenal and he wants a new contract. He's currently on 1.4 grand a week. His agents come to me and says, I need a new contract. And actually, I kind of want to give him one because his current minimum fee release clause is only £850,000. So let's kick off negotiations with him to be an important player. Let's get rid of that big wage rise though. Important player is fine. Negotiate the contract. He wants 2,500 a week. Let's try and limit it to 2,000 or so. Let's get rid of a non-promotion release clause. Get rid of that. We do not want that in there. Match highest earner clause. We might leave it in. Oh no, because if we get promoted, some big contracts might come out, and I don't want to give him a big one. So let's get rid of that too. We'll leave in his seasonal landmark bonuses. we might be forced to leave in the unused substitute fee and the yearly wage rise to keep him happy. But this minimum fee release clause has got to go up to like 10 million. Lock it in this time. Suggest, oh my days. So he's come back asking for £3,000. Let's bring this down to like 2.5 again. His wage after 30 games is not going to be increased. Yearly wage rise, let's lock it to 10%. And then, okay, the bonuses for Team of the Year are all right. They're quite big appearance fee bonuses and things like that. However, I did think he'd reject it. This could become an issue. We'll keep tabs on it. In other contract news, there are some players coming towards the end of their contracts, and a few of them are Patreon players who have never quite developed properly. So we might just have to let them go in the interests of saving £5,000 a week in wages to spend on some better players. So you can claim some more players in the future because these guys haven't worked out, so don't worry. But we'll monitor their progress as they, try and build their careers elsewhere. There is one player though who we are going to be keeping out of all of this. Andre. He's got to stay. The issue is he going to stay as a player or is he going to stay as the assistant manager? I'd rather keep him on one more year as a player and then make him the assistant manager next season when our current assistant manager's contract runs out. So if we can offer a new 1-year deal, important player. Who does he think he is? Andre Chittagel, doesn't he? Okay, you can have important player, maybe. How about emergency backup? No, he wants to be important player or nothing. Okay, Andre, you can be an important player. That's fine. He wants to be the under-19 assistant manager / player. Can we make you just a player? Just a player for 1 year on £1,500 a week. No, he's locking in under 19 assistant manager. That's fine. You can be that. You can be that if you become my assistant manager later down the line. That's fine. Basically, I'll give him what he wants because it's only a 1-year deal. So that is absolutely fine. Finalise that. You'll love to see it. The other lads, though, will unfortunately probably be heading off. Sorry about that, lads. But, we can't... Because we've got such a small budget, we can't keep paying you. That's the short of it, really. So a bit of a tense time with contracts there. We can now have a tense time by playing some league games against Elche and Barcelona. Potentially, these are the two biggest games this season. Like, they are huge in terms of how we might do this season. They could really be the difference between automatic promotion and having to go through the playoffs and then probably ultimately losing the playoffs. This is the lineup heading into the first of today's 2 games. And as you can see, 6 loan players in there. We are massively relying on the loan market this season, but it is working quite well because we are 4th in the table. Dikene starts in goal with a backline of Lazaro, Romagnoli, Kahinde and Dio Garcia. Pascal, Lalovic and Ade in the middle of the park with Timo Wolf, Tapu and JD Meakin leading the line. So as kickoff is upon us here today in our beautiful new stadium, which still hasn't got a proper name yet. I've heard rumours that there might be some sponsorship deal for a really good naming rights for the stadium, as Dio Garcia has just given away a penalty. Potentially. Oh, it's going to VAR. Okay. Everyone pray right now. Please, Football Manager gods, no penalty. Please, Football Manager gods, no penalty. We don't need this. No penalty. The praying worked. You love to see it. No penalty. Dio Garcia. That's like the 3rd penalty we've got away with on episodes in like the past 2 or 3 episodes. It's mad. I didn't really get a good look of it when it happened, so maybe you guys in the comment section can tell me if it was a penalty or not. Elche still looking to come forward though. They bring the ball back. Good pressure from... I'm not quite sure what that highlight was for them because nothing happened there. But there is a throw-in now for Elche as we crowd them out in the area. Tapu gets an interception but loses it straight away in a really vulnerable area. And that's a great ball through the middle. Romagnoli with a great interception. He's been immense this season. A draw would be an alright result. We just can't lose. The biggest thing is we can't lose. I don't mind drawing because we'll stay, the same points deficit to them. I don't mind drawing, but losing would be a big issue for us, as there we go. As I literally talk about not losing the game, Elche score. Do I want to watch this again? I don't know. It was such a good defence splitting ball that, and then Hernandez is through. Dikene can't really do much about it at that range basically. So as we head towards the break, it does look like Elche are going to be taking the lead. By looks of things as well, Real Oviedo are winning they've gone ahead of us, Real Oviedo. I'm not entirely sure how, unless they played earlier on today and drew and I've just missed it. Where is that Oviedo scoreline on here? Oh, they're losing. Oh, they've just seen they're losing. They were drawing. They're now losing 1-0. We can look at that in a second as Timo Wolf collects the loose ball. Lovely stuff in the area. Oh, across to... What an absolutely fantastic goal that is. Brilliant stuff there from Timo Wolf to control that and get it across the 6-yard area. And JD Meakin firing home at the far post for his 19th of the season. Forgot to say how he's in the team, didn't I? Basically... we had to send a player out on loan. So after that Cadiz game, which we holidayed through, the transfer window was still open, and I was able to get Robbo out on loan somewhere else, so JD Meakin could take his number, and then we wouldn't have to have the issues where he couldn't play because he didn't have a number. It was really bizarre. Seemed like a bit of a weird bug maybe, but basically... I don't know how to avoid it in the future because it would seem really, really random. We've not come across it before, and I presume we might not come across it. What am I trying to say? I've lost my train of thought. I'll get it back after this highlight with Elche as Kahinde makes a good challenge. Okay, that was boring, wasn't it? It's not happened before, but because it's happened now, you can guarantee it will happen again. That's what I'm trying to say, I think, out of all of that. So I don't know how to protect against it, but we need to be very careful in future to not give away numbers or... Basically, I think it's probably a bit of my own incompetence, or I don't know. It just seemed a little bit weird, but we've fixed it now by having to get rid of a player. So we have lost out a little bit, but at the same time, it wasn't a first teamer, so it might be okay. But saying that, a day could be swapped right now with Robbo if he was on the bench, but he's not. He's not played very well, so he'll come off for Luis Fernandez. Romagnoli is going to come off for Ethan Brito at the back. And I think Tapia will come off for Arroyo. Confirmed subs. 10 minutes to go in this game. Kahinde clears. I think that's just a highlight for the substitutes. We can get a winner out of this. We know that we've... Tapu, get yourself off the pitch now for that substitution because you might get a red card after that. Unfortunately, the substitutes might not have made much of an impact. That 10 minutes has blown by very quickly and we pick up a draw with Elche, which is... I guess an alright result. You know, we've not lost. That's the main thing. We haven't lost. We need to check out the score with Real Oviedo. Last time I saw they were losing 1-0 just after half-time, and they fought back to 1-1, so they stay level on points with us. 2, Real Valladolid must have won because, yeah, they did 5-3. So they're still ahead of Barcelona. They have... I don't think we're going to win the league title. Valladolid might take that. Barcelona in second. They don't matter because, of course, they're a B team. So we really are fighting with Elche here. And now, of course, we've got to play Barcelona, which is going to be a lot of fun. This does become a must-win game now, this Barcelona game. It really does. Nice to have a record attendance, though, against Elche. The crowds keep getting bigger and bigger. 6,629 turning up for that one. And a gate receipt, £75,000 for that. How are the bank balance? The bank balance is currently getting worse. Oh, you hate to see it. Minus 800,000, not ideal at all. Hopefully, if we get promoted, that would be great. Shittigel accepts the job as under-19 assistant manager and player for a year. Next year after that, he'll become my assistant manager in the first team. Or maybe we keep him there for a little while. Keep him, you know, practicing for the under-19s. And then when he actually, you know, is maybe a bit better, we can get him to be mine. I don't know. I don't really have a say in that, do I? Because he runs everything behind the scenes, doesn't he, Andre? He's the one doing everything. I think what we'll do is keep the lineup the exact same as it was for the previous game against Barcelona. I don't think it gets much stronger than this. So we'll leave it as it is now. Submit team. Come on, let's beat Barca. So kickoff is upon us here today in Barcelona. Now I think we might have beaten them earlier on in the season. I can't actually remember. We definitely didn't lose to them. I know that for sure because I remember the teams we've lost to playing in our beautiful Belarusian colours away kit. Again, another one of the Andre Shittigel commands because he pulls the strings behind the he pulls all the strings. That's what I'm trying to say. Behind what? I don't quite know what. I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but he's the one that does everything behind the scenes. That's what I'm trying to say. Pulls the strings behind the scenes. That's what I was trying to say. There we go. I got it out there in the end. In the meantime, it is Barcelona looking to come forward. They have, for the most part this season, been the best team in the division. That's definitely a penalty. I don't think we can really get away with a VAR this time. I mean, if we do, we are very, very lucky. But that one looked like the player was just absolutely dragged down by our man, which is less than ideal. You know, if you don't want to give away penalties, you don't do that. So maybe we have to work on something in the training ground. That time, the penalty is awarded. Come on, Dikene. Please make a big save. We are relying on you here to save ourselves and give us a chance. He does! You love to see it! Absolutely fantastic. Oh, De Kene, we love you. That's a few penalties we've seen saved now this season. We've had a few penalties. We've done so well with like penalty appeals and saving them this season. It's been absolutely fantastic. So De Kene rocks up to a 7.7 rating for that penalty save. You love to see it. And now he's building it out from the back as Ade picks up the loose ball in plenty of space, but doesn't really do anything with it. Just drives sideways rather than forwards. That's a fantastic ball up to Timo Wolff, though. We know how good of a cross he has got as he looks to put the ball in the middle. That time the cross, not so good, but he does win possession back nicely. Lazaro forwards. To no one. You hate to see it, but the clearance again not very good. Dio Garcia into Tapu into I'm losing my oh no, you hate to see it. I've lost my words and stuff there again all of a sudden. But JD Meakin coming forward, through, shoots, scores. 20 for the season for him. What a boy. 1-0 up. It was Lalovic's name that really got me all tongue twisted there. Just is a difficult name to say when you're speaking a bit quickly, but Lalovic, he was the one that won the ball back and got it forward. JD Meakin finishes it off. I haven't seen the Elche score, but we've not gone ahead of them in the table yet as Meakin. Another goal for him. A header from a corner. Fantastic stuff. 2-0 up against Barcelona. This is the kind of game that we need right now. A day's corner, put in towards the far post. Meakin beats 3 Barcelona players in the air and then the goalkeeper. What a player he is. Now, are we going ahead of Elche? I still can't see the table properly because highlights keep coming. I'll pause it after this next one as, again, oh, that was almost a perfect ball through to Meakin, who might have actually been offside. That's why he didn't really challenge for it too much. As Barcelona are looking to get a response now from their players. The ball forward's good. De Kene, another great save from him. Right, I can pause and see other scores going on around us. Elche, I can't see them. I guess they might have played already then, like earlier or the day before. Elche? Can we just have a quick look at this? Just so I know what's happened with Elche. They beat Valladolid 1-0 the day before us. Okay, that's why we haven't overtaken them in the table. Oviedo, on the other hand, I don't remember seeing them. Maybe they play, I don't know. We'll have to check out Oviedo too. Looks like they're still on level points with us, so I guess they are winning or have won their game too. As Meakin looking for a hat-trick, can't get it. Pascal on the ball out to Dio Garcia. Dio Garcia coming forward. Tapu, can he get it across the 6-yard area? He can. Timo Wolff is there. Oh, it's like taking candy from a baby. 3-0, 13 for Wolff this season. Beautiful. Barcelona now looking to build out from the back. Loads of highlights in this first half. But I guess Cucurella, Kerema Cucurella, what a blast from the past he was when he played for Real Oviedo. When we were at Real Oviedo, he was a great left back or right back, one of the two for us. He was fantastic. Really liked having him at the squad. Maybe we can try and sign him here for old time's sake at some point as Timo Wolff plays a fantastic ball across the Tapu. Oh, it's 4-0 before half-time. We've won this game. We're getting all 3 points here. Just looking out for Real Oviedo, they're level on points with us right now, but I think they also must have played the day before because I can't see them on the score sheet or anything like that. So I'm guessing they've won their game too. Oh no, they are playing right now. They're just beating Rayo Vallecano 2-1 right now. Come on, Vallecano, get back into that and get an equaliser there so we can have a bit of pressure taken off us there because we don't want Oviedo to overtake us or catch us up or anything like that. As Barcelona look to reply at the start of the second half with their first goal of the game. I was about to say 14th goal of the game because it says 14th goal of the season down here. No, just the one for them. If they had scored 14, I'd be very concerned. What this does do, though, is drop that gap to us and Barcelona. Not that it matters too much because they can't get promoted, but it would be quite nice to catch up to Barca and actually beat them in the table. That would be really, really good. But also quite nice to try and sign some of these players for next season should we get promoted and Barcelona want to let them go. It might be more of a case of a loan deal for a couple of these players because I imagine most of these players have got the prospect to play for the Barcelona first team at some point soon. So we have to be a bit careful and probably these players will be very, very expensive should we want to buy them. However, as Tim Wolff gets his second of the game and 14th of the season, maybe we don't need them because they can't beat us right now, can they? So a fantastic game from our front three there, all sitting on 8 ratings and above, all with a goal at the very minimum. And I think probably all of them have got an assist at least too. As Meakin, will he get his hat-trick? He does get his hat-trick and his 22nd goal of the season. This is our biggest win of the season. So I don't think we've scored 6 goals in a game at all this season. And yet here we have done it against Barcelona. So as the clock ticks down, an emphatic victory for us. This Barcelona side, by the way, have scored over 100 goals already this season in 32 games. and they've only scored 1 past us, and we've put 6 past them. They've got the best attack and the best defence in terms of like goal difference and things like that, and we have ruined them. Hopefully this gives us the momentum we need to just win every single game for the rest of the season and push on for automatic promotion. So I must say, a actually pretty decent episode. We didn't pick up maximum points, but we really showed ourselves to be a fantastic team today. It's getting tight though. Very, very tight towards the end of this season. Luckily, our run of games are kind of okay. Las Palmas in 20th. Real Madrid B in 9th. We do have a tough game against Oviedo in between episodes too. Valencia in 22nd, Albacete 18th, Leganés 11th, and then next episode we'll come back for Castellón and Lugo at the end of the season. 2 tough games actually, apart from the Real Oviedo game, which will be tough. These 2 are going to be the toughest games for us. So maybe not winning against Oviedo, but we really have to be winning every other game apart from the Oviedo game if we're going to slip up once. Oh, it's going to be so tight coming into the season. So if you have enjoyed today's episode, make sure you do drop a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I will see you next time. Have a good one. Goodbye.